Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have a wonderful monthly book subscription that has been sent to me for review. It is actually the it is the May Literary Book Club box, and then we already know what we're getting for June. I think it's The Little Prince, and then we also know what we're getting for July, which is Emma, which we're very excited about because we're actually going to use that one for our Noël, which is what we call our private Facebook group for this channel. We're going to use it for the Noël, which is our quarterly book subscription. Now, you don't have to get the box to participate in our book club as long as you get a copy of the book and participate in our discussion. We finish up with a live discussion usually, which is really fun. But if you are interested in joining the book club, by all means get into the Facebook group. That's where we run it. If you're not on Facebook, I apologize. That's just how it works. But I'm very excited about this month's box. Actually, I guess it was technically last month's box from the Literary Book Club because it was just so sweet. It was The Wind and the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, and it was a beautiful Chiltern edition. But let me just give you some of the rundown on this book box first, because it started out as a quarterly box with a whole bunch of extra holiday boxes, and then she kind of realized after a while that, one, it was kind of cost prohibitive because she used to do all this extra packaging and all these things, but also so many people wanted the extra boxes and she was almost doing 12 a year anyway. She decided to make it a monthly subscription, and now it's even more affordable because it is hard to spend a ton of money on a book box every single month. So she actually reduced the price. So now it's $64.99 plus $9.99 in shipping. And I do have a code that'll save you $5 on your first box. It's just mauinoel. I'll leave that for you in the description box below. So she brought it well under $100, and then you don't have to fight and worry about getting the holiday boxes when they come up. You're also able to skip, which is nice, and they run their own book club as well. I think they're doing it in Fable, but I haven't seen much since they made the shift from Facebook over to Fable. But along with a beautiful edition of a book, you are also going to receive gifts that go along with that book. Sometimes they're inspired probably by actual page numbers. Sometimes I think it's just like the kind of vibe of the box, and that's kind of what I think I saw when I opened up this box. Now, when I did open up the box and I had to get into it so that I could get into the book, I did notice that there was some extra packaging just because they had to fill it with all the shred, and I felt like the items that I saw that I took a quick look at, but not too closely because I wanted to save some element of surprise, it did seem like kind of just the vibes of The Wind in the Willows, which, you guys, honestly, all I knew about The Wind in the Willows was Mr. Toad and Frog from the Disney ride. And that Disney ride is always one of those things where I go on it because I like going on some of the little kiddie rides in Fantasyland, and you're like, wait a minute. First of all, I waited in line for a really long time for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And then second of all, it's super duper short. And then third of all, you're like, this is scary. It's hot. We're in hell. So part of me was, as I was reading this, I was like, first of all, the beginning story, Mr. Toad is definitely in there. He is definitely one of the main characters. But we start out really mostly with Mole and Rat. And then when we do get to Mr. Toad and his wild driving, because he sort of is one of those people who, you know, he just like acquires different hobbies, like different things. We all know somebody like that who like gets into something like really hardcore and then they just sort of discard it eventually. Toad's kind of like that. Anyway, I was like, does Mr. Toad actually go to hell in the book? He does not. He does not go to hell in the book. Thank you. So I'm like, so Disney, why did he have to go there in the ride, in the children's ride? Okay, I digress. Look how beautiful this is. Of course, it does have that like texture to it, the beautiful golden edges, the lovely ribbon bookmarker, the nice glossy thick pages that kind of crack when you like first open it up. And then we also have this beautiful card that says The Wind in the Willows with a picture of Frog. Of course, these are like all anthropomorphic talking animals that are very aware that they're animals. They kind of talk about animals as like the way we would talk about like humankind. And the whole story has little like mini stories inside of it. You like hear from Badger and all the field mice and the weasels. I have to say I did listen to the free Audible version of the book as well, and Badger sounds like Liam Neeson to me. So you guys are gonna have to listen to that. Again, it's free on Audible if you want to. I was like, is Liam Neeson Badger? Like, oh my gosh. And then she has a list of all of the items that are in the box. So I'm just gonna prop that up in front of me. Still kind of some of the classics. This was like a little departure from the new format of the box. We used to get these cool swag bags, and that was like a surprise for subscribers, is that we still got a swag bag in this May box, little throwback fun. So I was really excited about that because I thought this was great. Oh, and so it's got the quote on the nice big fat bookmark. Yay, so cute. So it says, "Shabby indeed, and small and poorly furnished, and yet his. The home he had made him for himself, the home he had been so happy to get back to after his day's work, and the home had been happy with him too, evidently." This book is very much about adventure and friendship and home and your sense of home. So I think that's funny. I didn't notice the bookmark. I hadn't seen it yet, but the little passage that I decided to pull for you, basically, because we don't have page numbers. The one that I decided to pull for you is also about home, and when Mole is out on an adventure with Rat, and he smells his home, and he's like, oh, I gotta go back. I gotta go back. I wonder if that's actually from that passage. Oh, this is so cute. Little Be Kind. This is a little throwback from Wildflower, the Wildflower subscription box as well. And then we got this cute little book plate with Frog. Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the items because I know one of them is kind of supposed to be like, you know, a while you read gift. Oh, this is fun. Craft Mix Blueberry Lemonade. There's a lot of eating and sort of hosting and celebrating in this box, and a lot of making picnics and making the best of what you happen to have in your pantry and creating a whole feast for your friends and neighbors and people who are coming to sing carols for you. So I thought food is appropriate. Let's see. You can leave out the alcohol, of course. You don't have to make it a cocktail. And then we also have on the food front this one that I just pulled out. I got a little bit nervous. So this is some blackberry Earl Grey jam. Oh my gosh, the color of this is amazing. I don't know if you guys can see that color. Yes, so nice. It's from a company called Roots Kitchen and Cannery. I love the idea of the earthiness of an Earl Grey along with the blackberry. Talk about a giant jar. This totally seems like, maybe with a slightly different label, the kind of thing that they would go look for in their pantry to put together a spread with some bread. All right, so that looks really, really good. Okay, I was just making sure that's not like a crack there. Oh no, just a little bit of sticker. From Bozeman, oh, it says Bozeman, Montana, Jackson, Wyoming. So I wonder if they're located in both places. Maybe they actually have the canneries in one place and the shops in another, or maybe they have shops in both places. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Let's see, let me show you one more. Oh, so the custom bookmark and sticker were included in the contents of the box this time around. I'm going to show you one more thing and then I'll read the passage. So this is a nice thing too. Again, kind of food related because of all of their things. This is a Z-Wrap's eco-friendly food wrap. A beautiful reusable food storage, and it's a 3-pack. We've got 3 different sizes. One is small, 8 by 8, one is medium, 12 by 12, and one is large, 12 by 15. I try to use food wraps quite a bit. I will say I think they work best for like smaller items, even when they're big. So like I will use them for like cheeses. Hard cheeses is nice. So this is what they look like. Sometimes you have to like get them pretty warm to make them work. You can hear that. That was some ASMR there, you guys. So how cute these are. So I think this is the big one. Yeah. So you can see it's pretty big. Yep. And you can wrap things up, and then it's because they are waxed. They just kind of press and seal to one another. But if you are looking for like a super, super duper airtight, or it doesn't seem like it's sticking, like I wouldn't necessarily use this. I would probably use cling wrap or an actual like silicone bowl cover if I wanted to make it airtight. But these are pretty good. They're pretty good for like a average seal, you know. And they're gosh darn cute. They're also nice for like your picnics. If you want to wrap up like a sandwich or something like that and you don't want to use like a plastic bag, these are great for that. Let's see. And it says reusable. They can be washed and reused upwards of 100 times. Wash with mild soap and leave to air dry. Store your wrapped food in the fridge, in the pantry, or on the counter, or even in the freezer. I haven't used it for the freezer. Interesting. See, they're showing it like over like a ramekin, and I've just never been able to get like that tight of a seal on mine. But it does work for cheeses. All right, so let me go ahead and read that passage I was talking to you about. There they are sitting in their boat. I think the like most famous quote is like about them doing boaty things and learning how to boat on the river. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Look at these gorgeous pictures. So there were all these images. Some of them are just like black and white half-page drawings. Let me see if I can find one of those. Like that. But they were like really, I think the way the book was crafted, they're mostly in the beginning pages and then in the last pages. So they probably printed like a full-size sheet, right? And then the way they, so with an image on each side and the way that it was sewn together, that's how you get it. It's because they didn't always line up with the actual story. But then you would come across a picture sometimes and be like, oh, that's an illustration of that part of that story. So, but they are really beautiful, and I love that children included them. So she arranged the shawl with a professional fold and tied the strings of the rusty bonnet under his chin. I still have like a little bit of my voice loss. I feel much better, you guys, and I'm glad because I am about to do some traveling and, as always, a lot of work. But every once in a while, especially when I've been talking a lot, either teaching yoga or doing these unboxings and kind of trying to get a little bit ahead, of course, like about halfway through, my voice will crack. And so says, "Shove that under your feet," he observed to the mole as he passed it down into the boat. Great, it's like beautiful color images. All right. Let's see. They're back on their way. I think they're headed towards Rat's house, which sometimes they call him Ratty. And Mole smells his home, which he hasn't been home for quite a while. Once beyond the village, where the cottages ceased abruptly, on either side of the road they could smell through the darkness the friendly fields again, and they braced themselves for the last long stretch, the home stretch, the stretch that we know is bound to end sometime in the rattle of the door latch, the sudden firelight, and the sight of familiar things greeting us as long-absent travelers from far overseas. They plodded along steadily and silently, each of them thinking his own thoughts. The moles ran a good deal on supper, as it was pitch dark, and it was all a strange country for him as far as he knew, and he was following obediently in the wake of the rat, leaving the guidance entirely to him. As for the rat, he was walking a little way ahead, as his habit was, his shoulders humped, his eyes fixed on the straight gray road in front of him, so he did not notice poor Mole when suddenly the summons reached him, and took him like an electric shock. We others, who have long lost the more subtle of the physical senses, have not even proper terms to express an animal's inherent communications with his surroundings, living or otherwise, and have only the word smell, for instance, to include the whole range of delicate thrills which murmur in the nose of the animal night and day, summoning, warning, inciting, repelling. It was one of these mysterious fairy calls from out of the void that suddenly reached Mole in the darkness, making him tingle through and through with its very familiar appeal, even while yet he could not clearly remember what it was. He stopped dead in his tracks, his nose searching hither and thither in its efforts to recapture the fine filament, the telegraphic current that had so strongly moved him. A moment, and he had caught it again, and with it this time came recollection in fullest flood. Home. That was what they meant. Those caressing appeals, those soft touches wafted through the air, those invisible little hands pulling and tugging all one way. Why, it must be quite close by him at the moment, his old home that he had hurriedly forsaken and never sought again that day when he first found the river. And now it was sending out its scouts and its messengers to capture him and bring him in. Since his escape on that bright morning, he had hardly given it a thought, so absorbed had he been in his new life, in all its pleasures, its surprises, its fresh and captivating experiences. Now, with a rush of old memories, how clearly it stood up before him in the darkness. Shabby indeed, and small and poorly furnished, and yet his, the home he had made for himself, the home he had been so happy to get back to after his day's work, and the home had been happy with him too, evidently, and was missing him and wanted him back, and was telling him so through his nose, sorrowfully, reproachfully, but with no bitterness or anger, only with plaintive reminder that it was there and wanted him. The call was clear, the summons was plain. He must obey it instantly and go. "Ratty!" he called, full of joyful excitement. "Hold on! Come back! I want you quick!" "Oh, come along, Mole, do," replied the rat cheerfully, still plodding along. "Please stop, Ratty," pleaded the poor mole in anguish of his heart. "You don't understand. It's my home, my old home. I've just come across the smell of it, and it's close by here, really quite close, and I must go to it. I must. Oh, come back, Ratty, please. Please come back." They do eventually go back, and they have a nice celebration. So it is actually that quote. So Katie liked this quote too. Love it. So shabby indeed and small and poorly furnished, and yet his, the home he had made for himself, the home he had been so happy to get back to after his day's work, and the home had been happy with him too, evidently. Love it, because the home is sending out its feelers. Come back home, little mole. Love that. Love, love, love. All right, let's take a look at the other items that we have. So we have some woodland socks in a lovely kind of Christmassy colors, honestly, with the cranberry and the dark foresty green. So, and some mushrooms and some ferns and leaves. Let's see, what does it say at the bottom? House of Hex? Does it say House of Hex? Let me see. I think along the sole of the foot it says House of Hex. Very bird mossy, very witchy. I like it. So let's see. This is, yes, the House of Hex shop. One size fits most. 80% cotton, 15% nylon, 5% spandex. These are quite cute. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, if you've been trying to get into our Facebook group, there is a question that asks you, which of these things do I like to receive in subscription boxes? Socks are not one of them, because I just don't wear shoes a lot. I wear sandals, I wear flip-flops, I go barefoot. But in terms of a nice dress sock, because occasionally when I travel, I do need to wear a boot, these are nice, because they are a little bit whimsical, but they're not kind of too crazy. I do like these. All right. I like socks sometimes. I will hold on to a dress pair or two. All right, let's see what else we have. Oh, we have some travel soap, I think. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. There was a little card that went along. It just says gift. Very like mysterious, very like drink me. Let's see. Early bird bonus gift. Interesting. Don't know. I don't know if that's like a holdover. Maybe that's a holdover from another box, but still has the sticker on it. So we got some from Flower Market Soap Co., some paper soap, which are really handy to have, especially if you are, like I said, traveling. And sometimes you'll go places and the soap dispenser is empty. But basically, it's these little sheets of paper that you just run under the water and rub your hands together, and it's soap. Oh, this says, oh yeah, this says dry hands, place a sheet of paper, and then you add the water. So I kind of do it all at once, because if I have this, it's really cute, the little package. See, and then you can just close it. It's very handy to have, just as like hand sanitizer can be handy to have, but I like to use a nice soap. All right, and our last gift, I don't know that that was an early bird bonus. Maybe it was. Let me know if you got this box and you also got that. It's on the card, so that makes me think that it's not like an early bird bonus gift that some people wouldn't have gotten. So we really got, let's see, we got the cocktail mix. I consider the cocktail mix and the bookmark and the sticker like the smaller, like ephemera of the box. And then the main gifts, the like meatier ones, is the blackberry Earl Grey jam, the reusable food wraps, the woodland socks, and the paper soap. But then also, I think this is something that did not make it onto the sheet, which I would also count as a large gift. This one. So it is a country vegetable stew mix. Oh, I love these Cook Tavern soups. You can add chicken or beef or keep it vegetarian. They're super duper easy, so they just tell you what to add. So in this case, you just need a pantry list. You need 4 cups of vegetable beef or chicken broth, 2 cups of water, 2 cans of diced tomatoes, 1.5 cups of cabbage shredded, and half a teaspoon of salt. So honestly, like, because you could get canned diced tomatoes, you can get pre-shredded cabbage. This is a very low effort, nice hearty soup to enjoy. So that's a great item. So really we got 3 littler items with the sticker, the bookmark, and the drink mix. And then we got 5 bigger items with the jam, wrap, socks, soap, and soup. So 8 gifts in this monthly box. Pretty good, and a delightful little story as well. So let me know what you thought about this May box from the Literary Book Club. Let me know if you are excited about June and July, and if you're having any trouble joining us over in our Facebook group, you can let me know that in the comments as well, and we'll try to make sure that you get in there. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you all very, very soon. Oh, should we have a secret password? We should. Let's have it be Badger, because I really liked the Badger character in the book. So B-A-D-G-E-R, Badger. That is your secret password for today. Remember, you have to be 18 years or older. You do have to have a US or Canadian mailing address. You do have to be subscribed to my channel. It's just my way of saying thank you. It's not affiliated with YouTube or any of the boxes that I open here in the channel. You use the link for the entry form down below, and make sure that you don't put it into the comments. And you can watch any of my other videos. Most of the time I tell you what you get, but it's basically a mystery box. So you have about 5 days into the following month to get all of the secret passwords entered. Today's is Badger. I'll see you guys soon.